Life constantly demonstrates that our way of thinking shapes our destiny. Napoleon Hill wisely said, "What you think, you become." But if thought is so powerful, why do so many remain stagnant, trapped in the same cycles of fear and limited results? The answer lies in a simple yet profoundly transformative story. In a bustling train station, the sound of the rails and the rush of people created organized chaos. There, a beggar lived his days in the routine of holding out his hand, asking for coins to survive. He felt invisible, devalued, a specter in the crowd. One day something unexpected happened. While waiting for alms, an elegant man with an impeccable suit and an air of confidence crossed his path. The beggar, with a glimmer of hope, approached, believing that this man could offer something of value. Instead of coins, the man launched a question that disarmed him. "Do you only receive? Have you ever thought about giving something?" The words echoed in his mind. He had never considered the possibility of offering anything. With a hesitant voice, he admitted to having nothing. The man, with serenity, replied, "He who doesn't give has no right to ask. Life is an exchange. I only give when I receive something in return." And he left, leaving the beggar immersed in reflections. That cold night, the beggar couldn't sleep. For the first time, he questioned whether his misery was just bad luck or a consequence of his own posture. "What could I give?" he thought incessantly. For 2 days, he refrained from asking. On the third day, observing wildflowers near the tracks, he had an epiphany. What if I offered a flower for every coin received? He picked some flowers and returned to his post. Upon receiving the first donation, he extended a flower, saying, "Thank you. It's for you." The traveler, surprised, smiled genuinely. At that moment, the beggar felt the joy of offering something, however small. In the following days, he repeated the gesture. Surprisingly, more people stopped, not only to give, but to receive a flower. Begging transformed into exchange. He realized that with flowers, the coins came more easily. Without them, almost no one stopped. Life was teaching him the law of return. One day, he met the businessman again. With enthusiasm, he ran to him. "Now I have something to give. If you give me a coin, you will receive a flower." The man smiled. "Now you understand. You are no longer a beggar, you are a businessman." The words were a revelation. For the first time, the beggar saw himself differently. That day, he decided to change. With the money he had saved, he bought flowers at the market. He returned to the station not as a beggar but as a seller. He stopped asking for pity and started offering beauty. The change was immediate. People respected him not out of pity but out of admiration. The money was fair payment, and the smiles, the confirmation of his transformation. 6 months later, the misery had disappeared. In place of the hunched beggar, a man erect with clean clothes and a firm gaze. The station, formerly his shame, became the starting point of his new life. And one day, fate placed him face to face with the businessman. "Do you remember me?" asked the flower man. "Of course," replied the businessman. "You were the beggar at the station." He smiled. "I was. Today I have my flower business, which I travel to expand. I discovered that we only receive when we learn to give. I was never just a beggar, I was always a businessman, I just needed to believe in myself." At that moment, they were equal. Two men aware of the power to transform their own destiny. The lesson was clear. Greatness is not born from what we ask for, but from the courage to offer something to the world. While the beggar saw himself with nothing to give, he lived in misery. Upon recognizing his value, everything changed. The world reflected the new image he had of himself. As Napoleon Hill said, "What you think, you become." Change begins in thought. If you see yourself as small, you will live small. But if you see your inner strength, you will pave the way for greatness. Remember, don't wait for the world's pity. There is always something to give, even if it's a flower. And in that attitude may be the beginning of a new life. If this story touched your heart, share it. Every gesture of love and inspiration multiplies and returns in blessings. Leave in the comments how this message spoke to you and continue on this journey of awakening and transformation.